What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the weekly episode of the Live Builder Show. I'm your host, Hassan. Today, we are talking about procrastination. So, first thing first, how do you know if you are procrastinating? So, this is what I call the signs of procrastination. All right. So, I'm sure a lot of you watching this and you're listening in, you know when you procrastinate. But I want to just break it down for you, make it real. All right. So, these are some things that I think I do sometimes, and I'm sure you do, so that we can have a list. All right. Here we go. So, the signs of procrastination. Number one, you avoid the task, you avoid doing something till the very end, right? So you have to do a paper, you have a project, and you wait and you wait and you wait. You got to study for an exam. You wait and you wait and you wait till the very end. So that's procrastination. Now, you might, convince yourself that, what, I have some important tasks. You know what, reason why I am actually delaying, changing my car insurance, or reason why I'm delaying going and, I got this bill that I'm supposed to fight with my credit card. I'm just delaying, I'm delaying. Sometimes people they're paying these extra bills just because they're procrastinating to call up the company and cancel the subscription. Just stay there. And no wonder Netflix knows this, right? And I'm guilty of it, right? So I signed up for Netflix one time because there was a show there, right? And I'm just too lazy to go to the Netflix website, an account, and I'm subscribed because it's too much work. I'm just procrastinating, right? And I'll tell you this, I'll be real honest with you. Like in my garage, right? I have to get a key to open the door, right? So every time that I get out the garage, right, it's the automated key, but I have to order it. But so I've been just procrastinating in just doing that little order so that the door opens. Now I'll tell you why that's happening when we get to the psychology of procrastination. We'll talk about why that happens. But what's interesting is that you have to know that, you're procrastinating. So just you're delaying the task, or you find yourself always playing the catch-up game, right? So you're constantly catching up. By the time you finish last week's stuff, this week's stuff, pack up. So you're constantly playing the catch-up game. So that's definitely a sign that you are procrastinating, or that, you suggest, this is a good one. You gotta hear this, right? So I know some of you watching this, some of you listening to this, you do this. You go, I work better under pressure. Yeah, okay, complete BS. I work better under pressure. That's the BS that you tell yourself so that, you can procrastinate. Because the real thing is you have a habit of procrastinating. I have a habit of procrastinating, but I tell myself, you tell yourself that, I work better under pressure. I perform better. Okay, which is maybe true. So let me give it to you. There is a because you have all that energy, you are under a deadline, and that makes you feel a little rush, and yeah, that does give you energy. But guess what? At what cost? How is that impacting you, right? Or you say, you minimize the pain that procrastination causes you. So every time that you procrastinate getting something done for the house, at your job, you have to fill out a certification. One of my friend, he had to do an evaluation for his job. Maybe he's watching the show right now. He might kill me for this, but he had to do an evaluation, yearly evaluation for his job. And so he delayed it. And then finally he got an email from his boss like the night before. Listen, you have to do the evaluation tonight because it's due. Literally, it was due today. And if you don't do it, anybody who doesn't fill up the, yearly evaluation, the company evaluation, they will not be considered for promotion. So then he had to wake up 2:00 at night. And, he's doing it, late at night, lack of sleep, all that pain it causes, right? So we procrastinate. And if you're doing any of this, right, you find yourself that, you have to study for an exam or you have to do a paper and you're cleaning your desk. You're like, no, my desk is, it's very messy and I can't really study in a clean environment. Yeah, okay. That's just you not wanting to study. That's just you dealing. Oh, we used to do this. So whenever I talk about procrastination, I always remember this when I was in college. Several years ago, I remember at the time that we would take finals, we'd go to the library, right? The college library, the place that a lot of people waste their time. So, I used to go to the college library, and we used to be like, all right, we're going to sit down. We're going to study. All right. We're going to study. So we sit down, right? So we're going to study. Well, great. Whatever. So, we want to study. And what's crazy is that first of all, we're like, okay, you know what? Before we study, I'm kind of hungry. So we go grab a food, right? So we just came to the library. We have like from 2 o'clock to like 6 o'clock. And we just came to the library, and, it's crazy. We, just want to go eat. And then after that, what happens is we sit down, and then some other friend of ours, he passes by and goes, hey, what are you guys doing? Studying for the finals. Oh, you too. And then we get into a whole conversation for like good, half an hour about that we're studying. So then we do that. After that, we're like, you know what? We're kind of tired. You want to go work out in the gym? Or you want to go take a little walk and come back? Yeah, let's do that. We've been sitting for about 4 hours. By the time we're done with the whole day of this whole procedures, we never actually get to study, right? So we are doing whatever we can to avoid having to do the task. Right. And so either by, waiting until the very end, or convincing yourself that you have more important tasks, that's why you're not doing it, or that, you're playing a catch up game, or that you're saying that I work better under pressure, so I'm going to wait till the end, or that you minimize that, it actually causes you pain to get you in a lot of problems, but you minimize all that because you are procrastinator. And we're going to change that. All right. So that's the first thing. That's the signs of procrastination. Now, what we want tonight is that we want to be team non-procrastinators. I don't want you to stop procrastination. I want you to become team non-procrastinators. All right. So we're going to become team non-procrastinators. So by the way, if you're just tuning in, make sure you give us a thumbs up, and maybe you can share something on your Facebook, on your Instagram, and hashtag team non-procrastinators. And of course, give a little shout out to Life Build Up while you at it. So we want to become team non-procrastinators. All right. So what you want to do is, first of all, you got to be serious about becoming non-procrastinator. Now it's going to be a process. On day one, you're not going to become 100% non-procrastinator. That's not how it works, right? It's like a muscle. You have to, like going to a gym. It takes a little time for you to build up. So it's going to take some time. But as I work on it, as you work on it, we are going to get better and better as we become team non-procrastinators. All right. So the way you want to do that, you're going to get real serious. Think about the pain that all these years of procrastination has caused you. How many nights you've been up? How many times you had to make up nonsense stories because it was purely that you procrastinated? How many times you had to lie to somebody because it was just the easy thing that you just procrastinated, you couldn't get it done on time, and then you had to make up a whole story, and then the whole story caused you a drama, and then the whole drama it caused you to end a relationship, and end the relationship caused you all kind of sadness. See how bad it is. So you want to stop it in the beginning. You want to nip it at the very beginning and just stop it altogether. So team non-procrastinator. All right. So you want to think about all the time that procrastination has caused you pain. All right. And then number two, you want to think about how amazing it's going to be. Can you imagine? I want you to, if you listen to this, as you're watching this, I want you to just close your eyes for just a few seconds. All right. Take a deep breath, close your eyes. And I want you to think about, just do it. Yeah. Just close your eyes just for a few seconds and just follow with me and just think about how beautiful it would be if you never had to play a catch-up game again. If you had all your tasks done on time. Imagine that you never had to rush and be in that anxious mode and lack sleep and then cause problems. Imagine you had nice flow. How beautiful would that be? Wouldn't you want that? You want to be a team non-procrastinator. And so commit to becoming non-procrastinator. All right. So now we need to look at what's underneath. All right. What's underneath our procrastination? What's really happening? All right. So this is the part I call the psychology of procrastination. All right. So basically there's two things. Either you are afraid, there's a fear, or number two, you are you lack the motivation. All right. So if you're procrastinating, basically there's two things: either you are afraid, or you lack the motivation. What do I mean? Look, if you're procrastinating about something, the fact of the matter is you don't care about it. That's the truth. The fact of the matter is you don't care about it. You don't have the drive, the motivation. Because look, if you have to go to bathroom, when your body gives you signals, when your bladder goes, all right, I'm filled up, you got to go to the bathroom, right? Your body gives you enough motivation for you to go. If you're hungry, your stomach gives all kind of signals to your brain and go, all right, I'm getting out of energy here. We need food. And so you get it done. Same way, maybe because you love someone, or because you know what, it's you never get late, to something that you really enjoy, whether it be, you're going to a game, or you're gonna sit down and watch, a show. You're not late for that, or you're on time with that, because you care about it, right? So how many times there are things that you really care about, so you don't procrastinate. At that time, you don't tell me that, I work better under pressure. You don't do that for that. You see that? So you want to make sure, you lack the motivation. That's what's really underneath. And the reason why you lack motivation is because maybe one, you think you're being forced. That it's not, you are never supposed to do it. So deep down, you haven't accepted the responsibility of that task. So reason why you lack the motivation, because whether it be the homework, whether it be the study, whether it be the job you have to do for the work, whether it be something for that part of the work, you feel like, I wish I didn't have to do it. It's not my task, right? Or it's a priority issue, which is that, it's taking away from something that I would rather do instead, right? So that's why you lack the motivation, because you think either you don't own it. If you owned it and say, this I have to do this is my task, this is my thing, I gotta do this, then you would not have that option. All right. So lack of motivation is underneath. Or there's a fear. The fear is that, I do have motivation for it, but deep down, the reason why you're procrastinating is because you feel that, I'm not gonna make it, or that it's gonna be too much pain. Classic example that I give. College student, last semester did a research paper, took half an hour, took to get started, and then the night before, and it was so much pain staying up, doing all-nighter, and they associate a whole lot of pain with doing that. And so this year, as they're about to start their research paper, they delay it till they can't anymore, because of fear. So underneath your procrastination is actually fear. You fear that, it's going to be too much pain, so let me delay it till I can't anymore. All right. So that's, or that, I'm not going to make it. It's going to be too difficult. You procrastinate starting, starting your workout routine because you're afraid that it's going to be too much pain, or that, I will never be those, highly body shaped, And so you got to think about that. What's really underneath? Do I lack the motivation because I feel like it's not my thing to do? It should have been someone else, right? Or because you're going to school, not for you, for someone else. You're going to job for a paycheck. So if you go to job for a paycheck, every single task, you procrastinate because you're like, it's not my task, my boss's job. Just give me a paycheck. I want to sit in my office and get a paycheck, right? As much as you can not do, right? Because you don't take ownership of that task, ownership of that role. So these two things are underneath, all right? So you got the fear, or you got the lack of motivation. Now, so what do we do? So I want to spend most of our time today talking about what you do. Guys, if you're watching this, share the show. If you have any questions so far, you've been dealing with procrastination, what helped you, feel free to put in the comment section, and definitely hashtag @TeamNoProcrastinator. All right. So what do we do? And this is what I want to spend bulk of our time today, which is I have 5 things. All right. 5 practical things that you can do starting from tonight that will end your procrastination, and you will join the team non-procrastinators. All right. So because it has to be an identity. You have to stop that excuse of, that's just me. I work better under pressure, or that happens all the time. It's bound to happen. Look how busy I am, right? So I'm bound to procrastinate. That must be the case, right? And that's just not true. Those are lies you're telling yourself. Okay. So number 1, out of the 5 practical action item that you can do from tonight. Number one, after you determine that, you know what, I can't delegate this or I can't delete this, then you got to tell yourself, figure out a way, you know what, I have to do this because I can't delegate somebody else and I can't delete the task. So this task is on my shoulder. So might as well embrace it. If you got to do it, might as well do it right. If you got to, get it done, might as well enjoy the process the best that you can. So the question you're going to ask yourself once you know that you have to do this task is simple. How can I enjoy this? What can I benefit from this? I hate this. Nothing. No, if you really wanted to, what can you benefit from this? Every task has some benefit. Everything has something good in it. Find some good in it. How can I benefit from this? What can I enjoy about this? So whatever task that you're procrastinating right now, all right, I want you to think about that task and think about how can I enjoy it, the process. Not if you're too worried about completing it, then it will never happen. I'll give you an example. Some of you might think it's a little bit off the chart, or you might have all kind of feelings about it, but I'll have to share it with you, all right? I have to be upfront here. I have some patients who are ex-felons, all right? And something that I learned from them, I never been to prison, and God forbid, I don't want to ever deal with that. And some of them are ex-felons, and some of my patients, they were in prison for 15 years, right? And so they told me something very interesting, and it really made me think. One of them said, I said, how I got through my 15 years of prison, right? And interesting enough, the Department of Justice, Bureau of Prisons, once they sentence you, they don't tell you you've been sentenced to 15 years. Instead, they will tell you, 140 months, 180 months. You think, 180, not that bad. 40 months, oh, not that bad. But then you count it like, oh, man, damn, 140, whoa. 12 months equal 1 year. Oh, my God, that's freaking 10 years. That's freaking 15 years, right? So, it's how do you go through it? He said, look, when you first go into prison and you're like counting days, right? You're thinking, okay, all right, I got 10 years. So I got in 2007, so I'm going to get out 2017. But he said, if you do that way, you will be really in prison. He said, you got to take it day by day. So you forget about the fact that it'll take you 10 years. You live in the moment. So a lot of you, and because if you kept on looking, you call back home, right? These folks who are ex-felons, they tell me that they get this, whatever, 30 minutes on the phone, whatever, a certain amount of minutes per week, per month. And if they call home, they're like asking, okay, so what is grandma doing? What is my son doing? Oh yeah, we just have a get together today. And they're trying to describe to you over the phone what's going on in the house. He said, if you live your life outside the walls of prison, you'll never make it, because, you're going to keep on thinking and the time will not go. Instead, you have to get yourself busy and you have to keep on moving, right? And so that's I found that fascinating. And I thought about procrastination. Think about it. Most of you're just worried about when will this task finish, right? Whether it be a project, whether it be, you have a busy week coming up because there's evaluation, or, you work in Wall Street and regulators are coming in, they're going to go through all your files. And if you're just worried about it finishing, then you start to get anxious about it. Then you start to feel, worried. Enjoy the process. Whatever task it is, there's some benefit, some enjoyment in the process. So you want to ask yourself, what can I enjoy about this? What can I benefit from this? So as you're doing your research paper, don't think about, oh man, okay, I'm doing this. It usually takes about 10 hours. I think I should be done by next week. Oh no, when is that great next week freedom going to come? No, enjoy the moment, right? As Nelson Mandela, when he was in prison for so many years, he said, aren't you angry? Aren't you resentful? He said, no. He said, I was preparing. He said, all this time in prison, I needed it so that I could come out as a leader of my people, right? And that's an interesting mindset for a prison. And I'm giving the example because a lot of you guys think of your task like you're an inmate, right? Like, you got this task, as soon as done, freedom. Like I know some of you do this, right? You're in college, or you take a big exam, you have a certification exam, and you come out the exam, you go to these certified exam places, and you come out, you feel like a free bird, right? I know some of you have that feeling, but the point is, if you looked at like this, instead of you enjoy the process, this is great, right? And like I remember one of my chemistry teacher back in high school, he had this interesting perspective. He would put up these chemistry formulas, and he'd be like, "Is this fun, guys? Isn't this fun?" It's like a puzzle, right? It's like a puzzle. And we'll be like, yeah, okay, like a puzzle. Yeah, right. Right. But I think about it as an adult. I say, you know what? That's a great mindset, right? You got a math problem in front of you. That's like a puzzle. You have a meeting coming up that you need to prepare for at your job, or you're gonna have a meeting with an investor and you're preparing all your records for your company and you're trying to get it together, or just tax season just finished, right? Well, a lot of you have businesses and you're like, oh, I gotta make sure all my paperwork isn't correct, go through the accountant, go back and forth. Enjoy the process. You know what? This is cool. Wow, I'm making money. I'm making moves. You gotta put yourself in the moment. All right. So that's number one, which is you have to determine that I can't delegate this. I can't delete this. I'm going to own it and I'm going to run up on it. You know what I'm saying? I can't delete it. I can't get rid of it. I can't give it to somebody else. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to take ownership of it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it done. That's number one. Number two, what you want to do is you might be resenting this task because there's an important area of your life that you're neglecting. So, because and you think about this as a low priority. There's something very important in your life that you're not doing, that you're neglecting. So now you're blaming this task that's been held up, right? Because you're not taking care of your body, because you're not taking care of your relationship, because you've been lacking in your spirituality. And then you blame this task like, oh man, look at this. They just shoved this on me. Now I got to do this for the next few days. But what really it is that you're unfulfilled from a different place, because you're already unfulfilled. Now, when you get this task, now this task becomes the monster. You shift all your blame. You shift all your, this is what it is. It's called deflection. You're deflecting the issues that you have onto this monstrous task. Like, this is the task that's holding my life back from happiness. No, it's not, right? You're just deflecting the stuff that's going wrong in your life anyways onto this one task, because you made this task the enemy, right? That's the real problem. So if you have already issues in other parts of your life to begin with, right, then of course it feels like a monstrous task, right? And so at work, you get this extra task, you get this extra project, and you're pissed, like, oh man, I don't get paid enough for this. But the real issue is you having a problem in the house. Because you have a problem in the house and you're not feeling too good about that, and you already been in an argument with your spouse about this, and then this task comes on, now you got to stay over at work late. Whose fault was that? If you had a healthy relationship at home, this extra few hours at work would not have bothered you. But already there's a damage in the house, and so now you're blaming this extra project. It's not the project's fault that you have to stay extra few hours. If you had a healthy home, the extra few hours would have done nothing, right? And that was the real issue. There's a part of your life that's a high priority that you're not taking care of. And so when you get something extra task, you procrastinate, and you get pissed about it, right? So that's number two. You need to be able to take care of the main areas of your life, whether it be health or whatever. Number three, you just have to get started. All right. So this is the trick. You just have to get started. And as simple as that. So, there have been studies. How do you stop procrastination? Very simple. You just convince yourself, all right, this project that I have, this issues paper that I have, this thing I have to do, I'm just going to do 1% of it. So set out, say, you know what, I'm just going to get it started, 15 minutes, then I'm going to go back to my Netflix. Tell yourself that. So fool yourself by saying, you know what, I'm just going to do a little bit. That's it. You have to say, oh my God, this whole project. Oh man. Okay, let me get myself ready. Ooh, okay, let me eat. Okay, let me go watch something first. Or let me go go to the gym and then come back. Okay, I'm gonna sit down, clean the desk. No, don't do all that. Wherever you're standing, just do one piece of it. Just 5 minutes. Just type in the research, the go to the journal article and find one article. Print it out and go, I'm getting started. Because this is what it is. Whether it be a writer's block or be a research project, you just got to get started. Once you get started, you will keep moving. All right. So just get started. Just one task and just go. So you convince yourself that, you know what? I don't have to get the project started and I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to do 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Lock yourself in for just 5 minutes. Convince yourself that you're not doing the whole thing, just 5 minutes. If you can't do that, you'll see it will automatically flow. Matter of fact, those of you who read books and stuff like that, they say that you should never stop at the end of a chapter, right? Because when you stop at the end of a chapter, your brain goes, all right, chapter closed, shift, put the memory in a different basket, close it. So they say, read a chapter, finish chapter, then go through the next chapter, read few lines, then close the book. whether it be a textbook, whether it be whatever. So what happens in your mind, that script is still open or fresh. So when you go back tomorrow and you start from that second line of the second chapter, boom, everything comes back. So leave tasks off halfway. You might say, oh, well, no, what do you mean halfway? No. Let me finish the chapter. Then I'll come back to the second chapter. No, because if you start the second chapter tomorrow, it starts like your brain goes, brand new file. Oh my God. And you take all that preparation time to get started. Your brain engines go boom, boom, and it slowly gets revved up. It takes time. Versus if you stop at the middle of the chapter, boom, you open the book, automatically everything just starts. Do you understand? So you want to leave it halfway. All right. So convince yourself to just start, do for 5 minutes, then go waste your time. No problem. Do that. All right. So, and then number 4 here is that make appointment with yourself. Okay. So if something is due, a week from now, give yourself a shorter deadline. And this is something, key point that I want to really emphasize here. So if you're listening to this, I want you to listen to this real good. Okay. I did a whole status on it. I think if you follow me on Instagram or on Facebook, at Hassan Psychology, you'll see it. I did a whole, I think, a written post, all right, about this. I made a video about it, actually. Yeah, go check it out. It's on my Instagram or on Facebook, Hassan Psychology. You could check it out. Maybe we'll have a link on Live Build Up as well. And I did a 50-second video that I think is very crucial. Hear me out. See, your opinion about yourself is so important. What that means is, what do you think about yourself? Most of you watching this, if you're dealing with procrastination issue, in your mind, you already know that you procrastinate. And you are already given yourself a D grade. And say, you know what? You, Hassan, you are a procrastinator. So I know you're going to probably, do it 5 minutes late. Like, you already know that. So you have such a low idea about yourself. Think about that. I have such a low idea about myself that I already know that I'm going to mess up. Like, that's how terrible that is. That's what I think about myself, that I'm going to mess up. That's messed up. And so you keep promises with yourself. So you know what? This is something that I've been trying to practice, which is that if I say, I'm going to get up at 9 o'clock, I'm going to get up at 9. Not 2 alarm, 3 alarm. I've been doing that all my life, and I've been trying to change it recently, which is, if I'm going to say I'm going to get up at 9, I'll get up at 9. Now, if I know that, but I don't really get up at 9 because, I'd have to go to work till, 9:30. You know what? Then fine. I'm going to put at 9:15. So yeah, you want the extra 15 minutes sleep? Because, I have the luxury. I should be able to, take extra. Okay, fine. But put that down. I'm going to take extra 15 minutes, and I'm going to put that down. Put the clock at 9:15, get up at 9:15. No snooze button, no 5-minute nap after that. Because what you're telling yourself is that, you make a promise with yourself and you break it every time. You see, you have to have integrity with your own self, right? And so you have to, decide, then you have to deliver every single time so that you can believe in you. So, you have to make an appointment with yourself. You want to beat procrastination. You want to join team non-procrastinator. You want to make an appointment with yourself. Say, you know what? I'm making an appointment with myself that on Thursday, 2 o'clock, I'm going to go get that done in the bank. And you make an appointment and you stick to it. Because if you don't stick to it, you're going to teach yourself that, you know what? You don't stick to any schedules. And what's that teaching you? Imagine this. Even if you are late by, 5 minutes, right? You're teaching yourself that, is okay. You want to reach this goal. It's okay if you reach it by a few inches, right? You're teaching yourself to cut yourself short. And so you want to keep promising with yourself. Now, if you're going to say, no, I need to get it done between 9 and 9:30. Fine. Say that to yourself though. Don't say 9 o'clock and then, do it between 9 and 9:30, right? So that's something I'm working on, which is, I'm going to tell myself, all right, I'm not going to tell myself I'm going to get up at 7. No, I'm not. You know what? Because I'm going to get up at 8:40. Fine. 8:40 it is. When I'm going to make an appointment, I'm going to say, you know what? I will get there by 8 or 8:30. Fine. I'm going to say that I'm going to get there by 8:30. But I'm going to say it. I'm going to stick to it. So I have to be able to prove to myself that I can keep my own promises with my own self. So making a schedule, in your weekly map and say, book it in. So that this task, Sit there. Now here's the crazy part. Okay, that's what this is where it counts. So even if you procrastinate, I want you to sit there and not do anything. So you say, you know what? From 9 to 9:30 tomorrow, I'm going to work on my research paper. Fine. You sit in the table and you're like, you know what? But hey, listen, I sat down, but I wasn't focused. I was wasting my time. That's why I got up. No, 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 no. If you booked your appointment from 9 to 9:30, I don't care if you have to just sit there and just snooze. Sit there and just tap your feet. Fine. At least you sat there and you kept the appointment. Whether you got work done or didn't get work done, train yourself to do that first. Just to sit there. All right. And once you do that, combined with the first thing I told you just a few seconds ago about, telling yourself, let me do just 5 minutes of this. That's all I'm going to do. After that, I'm going to go chill. No problem. You will see your procrastination will be beat. All right. And then every time you beat it, I want you to reward yourself. And you need to be able to build on success. Just like if you don't get it done, you get punishment, whether it be from punishment, meaning in the forms of rebuking from your colleague or whatever problem happens. Same way, reward yourself. All right, folks. Those are the 5 action items as to how to become a non-procrastinator. I hope that these 5 points are very helpful. And if there's something that you're able to apply, let us know. All right. I love to hear that. You know what? I tried this. Go home and try it for the next few weeks and let us know for this week. Maybe you have things coming up and you went by step and you beat it. Right. You became a non-procrastinator. Let us know. I'll love to hear your story. And if you benefited, give us a thumbs up, share the show, and put a post up saying at Team Non-Procrastinator. With that, we have an amazing show, and by the way, I forgot to mention at the beginning of the show, today's Thursday, right? So this is our new time, but the great show that you love, that we're trying to build here. So our new time is Thursday, 9:00 and Eastern. So this will be the case for every week. I'm sure you saw the announcement, and so we will see you. I will see you next week, Thursday, 9 p.m. We have a special guest. Let me see if we have a slide for that, or Jawad, we don't have. Okay, so we don't. I mean, we'll announce it, all right? So we do have a guest next week, but we'll announce exactly who it is, and I think you'll love it. With that, take care and good night from